Hey guys, it's Kris Risner here. If you don't know who I am, I'm a freelance digital designer. I usually work a lot with WordPress and social media. However, I've been kind of focusing a little bit more on UI and UX recently. Today we're going to talk about Adobe XD, and more specifically, we're going to talk about the plugins. Plugins are a great way to add some extra functionality. I'm going to show you my 5 favorite plugins from Adobe XD, and let's go ahead and hop in. So before we can talk about my 5 favorite plugins, I need to show you how to install plugins. It's super simple. You just go to the top bar and it says plugins, and then you'll see discover plugins. When you click that, it brings up this whole list of all the different plugins that you can use. And then if you find a plugin that you really like, you just click install. You can find all of your installed plugins on the menu bar at the top. All you got to do is click it, and then you can click on whichever plugin you want to use. Another great way to use your plugins is to use Command-Shift-P, and that will pull up a sidebar that lets you use all of them. And you can also keep your options open. So say I want to check contrast using this. If I do Command-Shift-P and go back and forth, it still stays open. So that's a great way to use your plugins also. So the first plugin that we're going to talk about is LOREM IPSUM. All it does is it creates dummy text for your designs. So if you know that on a web page you're going to need a paragraph of text, all you do is use the LOREM IPSUM and it fills it in automatically with just random gibberish. It's also super simple to use. You just make a text box, you type something in, you click off so that you can select the whole box. You go to plugins menu, LOREM IPSUM, and then fill with placeholder text. It'll give you a couple prompts, and then you just click insert text. And there you go. You have some text that's automatically inserted so that you don't have to worry about coming up with a paragraph of text on the spot. This next plugin is UI Faces. So it's super simple and super helpful. This is great for if you're doing like a user profile or something where you need to quickly come up with a user image. So you can make a shape. You can do anything you want, any shape that you want, and you just go to UI Faces in the plugin menu. It gives you a couple options. You choose whatever you want, and then you click Apply Faces, and it will automatically fill it with an avatar. So this is super helpful for user profiles. You know, the last user profile I did, I needed 5 different images, and you don't want to have to search through Unsplash for like good profile pictures. Whenever you can just use this plugin, and they automatically generate them. My third favorite app is something called REPETOR. So to use it, you have to go make a shape, and we'll just make a square, and then you use repeat grid, and you draw out a grid, and you can go as big or as small as you want, and then you use REPETOR to fill in your grid with random images. And you can either just shuffle and do whatever. You know, you could just click apply and it'll pick the first couple of images. Or you can also click through and select specific images that you want from their random images off Unsplash. This is a great tool for like photo grids or sliding images, stuff like that, where you need a bunch of images really quickly. I'm a big fan of the Stark app because it's a great way to check and make sure that your designs are accessible. So, you know, you want to make sure that anybody who's using your app can see and read the text, you know, even if they're colorblind or, you know, are just vision impaired. So with Stark, all you have to do is you make a box or, you know, whatever your normal design is. We're just going to use a box and a text layer. And you take 2 layers, you select both, and then you use Stark, and you can check the contrast and see whether or not it's going to pass the contrast standards. And as you can see, you might think that this is going to be fine, but it actually still isn't contrasty enough for some of the standards. The other thing that you can do with Stark is you click on colorblind simulation, and it'll show you your entire design, and you can try different colorblind types to see how it looks. So this is really just a great way to check and make sure that your designs are accessible to everybody. Stark is a pretty cool plugin that I just found out about, but now that I know about it, I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more, because just because I can read it doesn't mean that everybody can, and you really need to be checking your designs to make sure that they're accessible to everybody And with Stark, it's like 2 clicks and you can check. So there's really no reason to not be using Stark to check your designs. The last plugin I want to show you guys is the maps generator. I'm a big fan of this because sometimes you're making like a contact page or whatever, and you need to put your client's location. And before, the process to put a map on, say, your XD design was you had to go out to the internet, you had to find it, you had to screenshot it, it was just a huge hassle to put a map on your design. And with this plugin, all you have to do is you grab a shape and you go to your plugins, you use the maps generator, you put in your location right there. You can choose how far you want to zoom in or zoom out. You can choose, a couple different types of maps, and then you click generate map, and there you go. You have a map. So it's super useful for like contact pages or information pages or whatever. And it saves you a lot of time and you don't have to go out and find a map. As you can tell, I'm kind of a big fan of plugins that generate things because a lot of the time with, your UI designs, you don't have to have the content right there immediately. You can kind of just get the layout and then plug in your content later. So this saves a lot of time so that I'm not, spending a bunch of time trying to find UI faces or get the map or whatever. And there we go. Those are my 5 favorite plugins right now. If you think I forgot an app, or if there's an app that you're just really enjoying right now, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below, because I'm pretty new to Adobe XD and pretty new to the plugin area. And these are a great place to start, but I definitely don't know all the plugins, and there's probably some obscure plugins that have a ton of great functionality that I just don't know about yet. So I'd love to hear what you guys are using. With that being said, I'll see you guys next week.